Step into the Oracle Parlor, a podcast where those interested in witchcraft, psychic abilities, ghosts, and all things paranormal come to sip and spill the magical tea. This parlor is a space to grow by maintaining our curiosity over fear when it comes to the spooky and the paranormal. I'm your host, Jenny, otherwise known as Phantasma Witch. I'm a previous visual storytelling artist from animation, now full-time psychic witch, who is getting her MA in psychology to become a licensed therapist. Every other episode, I will share my paranormal experiences, different witchy experiences on a variety of topics, while other episodes, I will be talking with witchy guests of all backgrounds, from writers to artists to well-known social media witches, so we can learn about their practices and how they grew into their personal power. So get cozy and grab your tea. It's time to get mystical. Hello, my magical, mystical friends. Welcome to a very special, very new kind of episode on the podcast in which I will be giving you the month ahead energy forecast for the foreseeable future. Hopefully, you all like this. The idea is going to be that at the end of every month, I am going to be giving you all what the month tarot card is, which I will talk about in a moment, as well as the kind of the energy forecast, which is me tapping in psychically to the energy that we have coming ahead and kind of telling you, what I sensed, what I picked up, so that way you can move into this upcoming month a little more prepared, a little more emboldened, hopefully, to go forward and kind of navigate things better. You can think of it kind of like how we might use astrology with a month ahead astrology forecast, but the difference here is that I am looking at the tarot, I am looking at the energy, and hopefully it resonates with you. So please keep in mind that when I do these kind of readings, this is not specific to you or specific to me. It is general. This means that my intention when I tap into the energy, when I am looking at the cards, is not for any one specific person. And I'm not going to sit here and say, this reading was meant for you. No, if you vibe with it and it resonates, fantastic. Hopefully, you can kind of keep these guided messages in mind as you move through the month. Maybe write it down somewhere, maybe put it in your journal or a calendar, and then reflect on it at the end of the month to see what hit, maybe what didn't, or how things played out that maybe you weren't even expecting. So, again, this is a general reading for anyone who is watching or listening to this. So let's go ahead and get started with the tarot cards first. So the first thing that we are looking at is we're using numerology in order to figure out what the major arcana cards are that represent this year, this month, and those things combined to get a very specified card for this month. So we are looking at May 2026. So some of you may have already heard me talk about the year ahead card, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm not going to get too much into it here, but essentially the Wheel of Fortune year is a very up and down year, a very kind of chaotic. Where are we at on this Wheel of Fortune? Are we in the highs? Are we in the lows? And good fortune, who's good fortune? The next card that we have is the card of May, which in general, May is the 6th month of the year. So we look towards the lovers. So the lovers is going to be, how we connect with ourselves and doing that internal work in order to connect with the external, aka how do we see ourselves in others? How do we connect with others? How do we build that community? And if we take these two cards into consideration and then we do the numerology, aka we add the numbers 2026 plus the number 6 all together individually, then we get the number 7. And the number seven is the chariot. So this card, the chariot, is very specific to May 2026. So we want to look at all three cards. We want to look at the chariot for specifically May 2026. We're looking at the lovers as the general card for May, and the Wheel of Fortune as the year ahead card. So when we look at all three of these together, the thing that we can see is a lot of duality. We can see a lot of back and forth. We can see a lot of ups and downs in different ways, internally, externally, the world around us. So, what this is kind of saying to me is that this upcoming month, May 2026, is going to be a month where we are really going to have to ask ourselves, what is it that we align with? Where is it that we want to go? What direction do we want to move in? And how is that going to look? How are we making sure that we are aligning with our values and that that is what we are putting out into the world and that we are connecting with those communities, with those values in a way that we can actually move forward? Now, the thing is, this isn't actually none of these cards are actually about moving forward and taking action. These cards are about prepping, about coming to decisions. However, coming to those decisions is going to be confusing. It's going to create a lot of up and down and a lot of uncertainty, and that is okay. It's this, feeling of, when we look at the chariot is about this chariot rider who is preparing to go forward and leave the city behind them in order to go do whatever their grand journey or mission is, because they have gathered the tools in order to take that journey, but they aren't actually quite there yet. They're prepping for that journey. They're starting it. It's the very beginning of it. So this month is really asking us how we can best prepare ourselves internally as well as externally to start this movement, to start this new direction or resuming of whatever direction it is that we were already kind of moving towards. But because this is a Wheel of Fortune year, it does make it feel a little chaotic in the sense that maybe the wheel has fallen off the chariot and we have to take time to put that back on. Maybe we need to ask for assistance to put that wheel back on the chariot because we can't do it ourselves, hence the lovers. It's about finding the ways in which we can work together in order to move forward. Now, again, Wheel of Fortune, whose forward are we moving towards? Whose good fortune are what direction are we moving in? That part is the main question here. We're not meant to know that right now. We're in the process of doing what we need to do in this time of uncertainty, in this time of trying to figure things out and where we want to go and how we want things to be. That's where we're sitting at with this month. It's not about actually taking the actions. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about the baby steps. It's about taking care of yourself and those around you so you can be better prepared for whatever it is that comes next. So you can be better prepared to feel more stable in whatever decisions you end up making rather than just quick reflex, judgments, reactionary. We're not doing that. That's what the Wheel of Fortune wants to invite us into sometimes, is having a quick reaction. Like if you think of the Wheel of Fortune as like literally like gambling, if you just make a quick gamble just because you're like desperate and you want to win extra money. Not that I gamble, but I watch a lot of Sopranos recently, so I guess that's where that's coming from. Um, but the point is that you don't want to just throw things down and just be like, okay, go, 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 go. No, no, no. We want to take a breath. We want to actually think about it. We want to sit and reflect on it. We want to be able to prepare ourselves so we're like better suited for whatever it is that we're doing. So those are the tarot cards that we have for this month ahead. And moving into the energy reading of this month ahead is very interesting because I decided to pull an oracle card after I had tapped into the energy. And I feel like next time I'm going to have to pull the oracle card on screen because I was so flabbergasted and laughed so hard because it's one to one what I had written in my notes that I had taken when I was channeling and tapping into that energy for May 2026. So the first feeling that I got, the first sensation that I got was kind of like this tipping back and forth, kind of like heavy-headed, like being drowsy and trying to like stay awake in class is essentially the vibe that I immediately got right off the bat. So the start of this month may feel a little sluggish. It may feel a little foggy. And because of that, when we start off the month, I feel like it's really going to be important for us not to overdo it at the beginning of this month. So starting now, make sure that if possible, if you can, avoid overdoing it. Don't overcommit. Do not push yourself to go a million miles an hour. Again, like the chariot is not about running forward full speed. The chariot is about prepping for the journey. So we want to take that time to make sure that we're not in that half asleep, drowsy state. This kind of feeling of fogginess and drowsiness was followed by a, the emotions of frustration. As I was tapping into this energy, it was a frustration with the uncertainty. It was frustration with the drowsiness. It was frustration with the fogginess. So don't beat yourself up and don't get stuck in those frustrations. Don't beat yourself up if you're getting annoyed about not having the answer. Don't get stuck in the frustrations of not knowing what the answer is, whatever that may be in your personal life or in the grander scale of things. It's it's at this point that I actually heard the words, that ship has sailed. So this also can be one of the causes of that frustration and that uncertainty is it's not like literally saying that ship has sailed or like even in the figurative sense of like you've missed out. No, this when I heard this, it felt more like you have to accept where you are. There's no point getting stuck in the shoulda, woulda, couldas because that's gone. That's done. It's that's what it is. It's about being able to accept where you are in this present moment during the month of May. What can you accept about where you currently, presently are, and what is within your ability, within your control, without trying to figure it out, fix it, and control everything around you to get the answer? Because that's not it. That is not it this upcoming month, this month of May. The other thing that started to happen as I was in this energy reading was I was noticing suddenly I was having a difficult time clearing my throat. Like I couldn't, I was constantly clearing my throat. And in this moment, I realized, oh, if you've been avoiding having difficult conversations, if you've been struggling with saying what needs to be said, this month may bring that up again in some way, shape, or form. It may bring awareness to the things that you have not been speaking on. It may bring awareness to things that you may need better boundaries around. Maybe you haven't been saying no enough. Maybe you haven't been saying yes enough. Maybe you haven't been upholding the boundaries that you told yourself that you would set for yourself. And so, where have I maybe not been as clear that I needed to clarify with this person, hey, I know I said XYZ things, but I actually meant this, and I feel like there's some miscommunication. Or, hey, I know I said I could do this thing, but now I'm realizing I don't have the capacity. Can we possibly work something out? that is what is going to be needed as far as communication this month. This month of May is going to make you recognize those areas where maybe your communication has been a little, uh, not as strong. Maybe there's been issues around it. Like I said, maybe there's a boundary problem. It's going to bring attention to where more clarity and more communication should have happened and it didn't. And there was that again, that ship has sailed. It was that, well, it's already happened. So now we have to deal with where we are now. We have to, be with what we are in now and ask ourselves, where do I need to actually speak up a little bit more? And this month may be very hard for you to speak up. So e even if you're realizing, okay, this is where I should have, said XYZ things, this is where I should have had more boundaries. Again, you don't have to take those actions this month, but it is an invitation to reflect. It is an invitation to kind of ask yourself those questions. All of these things that we have talked about, as far as the tarot cards have gone and the guidance there, as far as the energy that has come through, everything boils down to feeling restless. So the sensation I got was literally, it felt like I had restless legs, which is not something I get, but I felt like there was so much tension in my legs and I just needed to get up and run, but I couldn't. So this feeling of restlessness and needing to get up and go and move and do, but not being able to because it feels like trudging through mud and moving very slowly is really going to be the energy that we're going to be feeling into this month, which is again why we come back to that the chariot, wheel of fortune, and lovers card. It isn't about taking the actions immediately. It's about figuring things out. It's about connecting with others and yourself in order to make those plans to move forward. It's not about hurrying up and just trying to get through it. That's not the point. And this is where we get to the point where I pulled an oracle card once I finished my energy reading, once I pulled the tarot cards, and I literally got the Restlessness card from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck. I will have both of these decks listed in the description of this episode. So the Restlessness card is Mercury and Aries, and I feel like this is so fitting for a lot of the astrological things that are currently happening slash um, have just happened at the end of April as we are moving into the month of May. I'm no astrologer. I don't know what the rest of May has for us. I haven't looked yet, but overall, restlessness is the theme and the key word. Because if we pair this card of restlessness with the chariot and the wheel of fortune and the lovers card, it is speaking about this desire to move forward, say the thing and get it over with and go and take care of everything and not being able to because of some reason, whatever that may be on a personal or larger level, which is why there was this kind of drowsy, heavy-headed fogginess feeling at the beginning of my energy reading, is because there's, more than likely this situation we're in is going to force us to slow down, even though we want to go and take off and just try and do it. And it's going to be the thing that we're going to feel really urged to do, but that we are being invited to slow down on. Overall, this month is not about being reactionary. It is not about trying to hurry up and get things done. It is not about taking the immediate action. It is about building slowly forwards towards the future. It is about slowing down and thinking things through. Because with this restlessness card of this oracle card that I have here, Mercury and Aries is fire and air. That's explosive in the sense that it's like sudden. It wants to go. It wants to do. It wants to make it happen. It wants to be there, be now. New, fresh. Let's go. Fresh, a fresh breath of air. But not being able to. That's where the restlessness comes in. It's that feeling of like, oh, if only I could, if only I could. Which is where we go back to the beginning of this energy reading, in which I said, really make sure that you're not overdoing it. Don't fall for the trap of shoulda, woulda, couldas. Don't fall into that trap of I need to hurry up and do, go, go, go. I literally wrote down during my thing, if you can see it, go, 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 do. So don't feel forced. Don't pressure yourself. And if you are feeling pressured or you are feeling that restlessness, try to come back to the present moment of where you are now, what is within your control, what you can do in the present moment. And that's all month long. That isn't saying don't take care of important business that you need to take care of. Like, obviously, do what you have to do as the moment arises, but it is an invitation not to be reactionary. So, if you can give it at least 48 or even 72 hours is better. If you can give it at least that amount of time before you react, that is what this month is inviting us into. Slow it down. Don't overdo it. It's okay if you feel burnt out and drowsy and foggy. That is just part of the process of where we're at. So, that is your month ahead reading. I hope that the messages and the guidance help you navigate the month ahead. I hope that you're able to hold this guidance with you as you move forward. And feel free to let me know how it resonated with you or maybe didn't resonate with you at the end of May, where I will be back at the end of May to do another month ahead reading. Hopefully, it won't be the literal last day of the month. I want to upload these the week of the final month. So that's kind of where I'm heading with doing these monthly readings. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you all next time in the Oracle Parlor. Thank you so much for joining me in the parlor for this episode. If you want more psychic magical tips, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Phantasma Witch. Phantasmawitch. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon, where I have a Discord community. I do Q&As, live classes, workshops, and more. To book a reading or consultation directly with me, you can go to my website, www.phantasmawitch.com. All of these links can be found in the episode description. And please, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you go leave a rating, leave a review, share it with others. It really helps the show to reach new listeners if you take a moment to do that, and it is sincerely appreciated. Shout out to the artist Cat Lines, who helped me to redesign the podcast logo to the beautiful magical teacup you see today. See you, mystical friends, in the parlor next time.